Alhamdulillah, such a lovely gathering. This is the gathering of Ahle Dil. And that's what we say. Dil walakum. Subhanallah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept our presence here. First of all, we have gathered here to make the dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as the program has started after Maghrib Salah. Inshallah, it will continue to Isha Salah. So the beginning of it and the end of it is at the dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that in itself says that our hazri here is already accepted in the court of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because it is the hadith of the beloved Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam that a person who completes his salah and in between his two salahs until the next salah is anticipating the time of the next salah, so the next salah time may come and I may pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He says that person is in salah the whole time. So this is one of the virtues, just one of the virtues that we have already received by having the intention to dedicate ourselves, our physical self that we have alhamdulillah gathered here, and we have invested our time and effort. Not everyone has time nowadays, right? We may have time for unending Facebook feeds and so on, but when it comes to flipping the pages of the Holy Quran, which are finite, there is no time. Inshallah, let us begin this Mubarak Majlis with the recitation of Durood and Salam. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Moulana Muhammadin ma'alum al-judi wal-karami wa alihi wa barik wa sallim salatu wa salamun alayka da'iman ya Rasulullah wa ya Habibullah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa ala alika wa sahbika ajma'in wa sallam. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen wa salatu wa salamu ala Sayyidil Mursaleen amma ba'd. فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قال الله تبارك وتعالى في شان حبيبه المبارك إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على سيدنا مولانا محمد بعد الجود والكرم وآله وبارك وسلم صلاة وسلاما عليك دائما يا رسول الله ويا حبيب الله صلى الله تعالى عليه وعلى آلك وصحبك أجمعين وسلم. Alhamdulillah, we have heard the recitation alhamdulillah in the court of our beloved Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and the time is limited and we might have load shedding later on. So inshallah, let's keep to the schedule, and inshallah whatever that is remaining from today's subject that will start, inshallah we'll try to conclude it tomorrow the Jummah time, inshallah, if we live to see the next Jummah, inshallah. Make dua that we live to see that time, that Mubarak time which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we pray to our Creator Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and prostrate in His Bargah on this Mubarak year. We are gathered here, as we all know, we all are aware, we have gathered here to celebrate the Urs of one of the greatest personality in the history of Islam. And this is no exaggeration. And our beloved Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, just to ensure that we all are aware what is the significance of it, as nobody likes to waste time in something that doesn't have value. So the value proposition is very important to look at things objectively. Our beloved Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam has stated in his Mubarak hadith that when we mention the pious friends and the pious servants of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Zikr al-Akhyar, when we mention the pious servants of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, tanzilur rahmah, the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala descends. So it is guaranteed. Whose words are these I'm saying? Not my words. The words of our beloved Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, whose kalima we read, and we call ourselves Muslim by reading his kalima. The truest words ever spoken. We can be rest assured that we are being showered in the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala right now as we speak. Alhamdulillah. We may not see because we don't have that spiritual insight and foresight, but it is there. However, introduction of Sayyidi Ala Hazrat radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, I don't think anyone needs introduction to Ala Hazrat rahmatullahi ta'ala alayhi. And some of you may have already had your interactions with the student of Ala Hazrat, okay? Student of Ala Hazrat, who made hundreds of thousands of people Muslim, entered them into the folds of Islam. Not 1,000, not 10,000, over 100,000 people he entered into folds of Islam, one man. And he is the student, one of the students of Allah. And he is none other than Moulana Abdul Qadir Ansari. He has been to South Africa on many occasions. And he has given lecture in Grey Street Mosque and other venues. He has established organizations here. And he has established structures here in this land. Alhamdulillah. His contribution. So Ala Hazrat is no stranger to us in the land of Southern Africa. If we want to relate to Allah as to who Allah Hazrat is, there are still people alive even today, I know of them, who come and tell me that they had the privilege of seeing Moulana Abdul Qadir in South Africa. Subhanallah. You see? So, we are the people who already have that faizan and the barakah from the court of Allah. Not indirectly, directly through his student. Alhamdulillah. And this student of his, now when we talk about the student, he made how many people? He entered how many people into the fold of Islam? Over 100,000 people. One man. And he happens to be one of the students of Allah. And we witnessed his works here in South Africa, in Durban especially, and many other African countries, and throughout the world. And henceforth, he was known as the roving ambassador of Islam. So if the student, this is the caliber of the student. What would have been the caliber of the Ustad who prepared him, who groomed him, go and spread the message of Islam? Our beloved Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam says, Allah Hazrat is known as the Mujaddid, a reviver. Who is a reviver? We need to understand the concept. A reviver. What does he revive? The hadith of the beloved Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is that Inna Allah yab'athu lihadihi al-ummah ala ra'si kulli mi'ati sana man yujaddidu laha dina. That indeed Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will appoint for this ummah, not for any other ummah, for this ummah. This is the specialty of this ummah. We are so fortunate to be in the ummah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam that even we know that our beloved Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the last and final messenger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There will be no messenger after him. This is our aqidah, which in the Quran. So the doors of guidance, now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent approximately 124,000 prophets alayhi salam on this earth. For what purpose? Only for one purpose. To guide the mankind. To guide the mankind. And after the arrival and the departure of our beloved Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that chain of prophets, that chain has been discontinued. Now, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala still didn't leave the ummah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam without a guide. Allahu Akbar. And he says, never mind, my beloved Nabi will be the final prophet, but I will still not leave his ummah misguided. In the darkest pits of misguidance, I will appoint the Mujaddid, the reviver, who will revive the deen of this ummah. SubhanAllah. مَنْ يُجَدِّدُ لَهَا دِينًا. And why? At the turn of every century. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala points in Mujaddid, not every year, not every 10 years, but at the turn of every century. Now tell me, how many generations have been from the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam up to now? Subhanallah, 1400 generations. So each generation, let's look at the human history, each generation, it comes with its own sets of issues. And to resolve those issues that were faced by the Ummah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala designed this deen so beautifully that He sends a Mujaddid at the turn of every century, when a generation is replacing another generation. And when they come up with their own unique situation, with their challenges, that Mujaddid is there to guide you in the right direction. He comes as a guide from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, our today's discussion is about how Sayyidi Ala Hazrat radiyallahu ta'ala instilled the love of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in our hearts. And what is his message? And how is it relevant in our time today? Ala Hazrat existed over 100 years ago. But his message that he propagated is not only alive now, but it will be continuously propagated till the day of judgment, inshallah. Because it is the same message that was brought by Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So, when Sayyidi Ala Hazrat propagated the love of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in such a way that he became synonymous as the candle of love of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Why? You read Salami, how often do you hear Dal di qalb mein azmat-e Mustafa Sayyidi Ala Hazrat Bilal Salam? What does it mean? That may millions of salams be upon Ala Hazrat, who has instilled the love of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in our hearts. If you didn't know the translation, this is what it means. So this is the karamat of Ala Hazrat, the biggest karamat. And why does it matter? The love of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, why does it matter? You may ask. Our youngsters are here. We all need to be educated. You know, whether we are 80 years old or whether we are 8 years old. A Muslim never stops learning. This is the characteristic of a Muslim, foretold by whom? By our beloved Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That a Muslim, true characteristic of a Muslim, that he attains knowledge, he seeks knowledge from Mahd, from the cradle, ila Lahad, to the grave. And how Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam had implemented it during his own lifetime, how important it is to gain Islamic knowledge. It is mentioned in Tafsir Kabir. Now this is a tafsir written by the Mujaddid of this Ummah, Imam Raza rahmatullahi ta'ala, another Mujaddid of Islam. He mentioned this hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He says that there was a Sahabi of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the beloved Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they were in the gathering, and the beloved Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam was informed that this Sahabi is going to pass away between Asr and Maghrib that day. Now how would Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam break this mystery? This Sahabi, he called the Sahabi, he says, you got very